What's up guys? Breaking news coming out today as Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi came out in a press briefing and she has announced reconciliation stimulus provisions. She said that negotiations on a massive social and spending climate package remain active despite the opposition from Senate centrists that stopped the legislation in its tracks last year, and that was Senator Joe Manchin. The speaker emphasized that House Democrats who passed a roughly $2 trillion reconciliation package back in November are essentially sidelined as Senate leaders seek to continue to delicate talks with the centrist holdouts. So the House already passed the reconciliation bill of $2 trillion and is now in the hands of the Senate. But a day after meeting with President Joe Biden and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer at the White House to discuss the economy, Pelosi said there's still a chance of enacting some slimmed-down version of the House legislation this year. So the version that passed of $2 trillion with all of those stimulus provisions is very likely to get passed. They are saying reconciliation is a Senate matter. She said, "We passed our bill, we made our views known." And that is a closely held negotiation that's taking place on the Senate side, Pelosi said in her briefing. Suffice to say that we expressed our interest in the timing when it could happen, but we did not get into the details. So right now, they are not revealing when they are planning to pass this stimulus package, but she said it's alive. Pelosi declined to reveal any details about the White House talks, but expressed some hope that whatever proposal might emerge will extend enhanced premium subsidies for millions of patients under Obamacare. Those subsidies adopted last year under Biden's $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package are scheduled to expire at the end of 2022, an occurrence that vulnerable House Democrats are scrambling to prevent. Pelosi and House Democrats has passed their version of the enormous reconciliation package last year after months of tense talks between liberals and moderates over particulars of the legislation. The social spending bill includes a host of policies designed to help working families that Democrats have sought in some cases for decades. The list includes child care subsidies, universal preschool, paid family leaves, renewable energy tax incentives, and extensions of both the expanded child tax credit and enhanced Obamacare subsidies. We are going to be seeing a slimmed-down version of this getting pushed through whatever does not get included progressives, and Democrats are saying be ready for executive orders and executive actions. They've got a laundry list of them ready. So that way, Joe Biden can go ahead and issue those or whatever is not included. It is more than likely that Democrats are going to want to have this fresh in the minds of voters before they hit the polls. Pelosi continued, "We take an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. We do that every day. The manifestation of it now is the January 6th committee, and I am very proud of how they have conducted themselves, but it is there. They are drawing their conclusions and going forth with their presentation. But we never take our eye off the ball of the kitchen table issues for America's working families. In fact, in addition to our oath of office to protect and defend the Constitution, what unifies Democrats the most, while we have our differences, timing, and perspective, one thing that unifies us the most is our concern for America's working families. And that's why when we won in 2018, we said we were going to lower cost, and we are doing that. We are going to increase paychecks, and we did that. And we are going to have a cleaner government, which is what we are striving to do. But in the lowering cost, we still having a struggle with the prescription drug issue. We couldn't get one Republican vote on that, So we are still working on that because that's a big kitchen table issue. We are here to do the job for the American people. It doesn't mean just one piece of the job. So we have some White House officials come in and talk to the Democratic caucus today about trying to harm that message in the economy. She claimed that they made a common presentation about our shared values. It was very encouraging to hear not that we learned, we know what their values are, and I was very pleased and honored by their presentation about the economy. But just because we are having the presentation, we're always learning more. How do we increase paychecks, lower costs, and in terms of our oath of office? Clearly you see from the photographs that the rip up certain elements of the Republican Party will do anything to stay in power. That's not what we are about. We are hoping that we could get the People Act enacted in the Senate, just cutting that charge, but lowering costs has always been our ongoing theme for the American people. What I would like to say is, though, to point out and remind clearly needs. Sometimes reminding when this president took office, 20 million people were out of work. He created public-private partnerships and the rest legislation, and 8 million jobs created in the shortest amount of time possible. Wages increase and unemployment is reduced. We did much of this with the rescue package, for which we did not get one Republican vote. Not one Republican vote for the child tax credit, shots in the arms, money in the pockets, people back to work, children back to school safely, without one Republican vote. So whatever it was that we discussed yesterday in that meeting, what we care about is, again, the well-being of America's working families. And we just clearly need to make sure people understand this historic accomplishments of this president. 8 million jobs, unemployment cut in half, the lowest rate of unemployment among veterans. So again, we have to continue our work. We are legislating, and sometimes that takes time because we are striving for as much bipartisanship as possible. Doesn't mean if they don't vote for it, that we don't have Republican provisions in legislation. But it does mean that we are going to do the best possible job, the most sustainable job for the American people. So don't expect me to be talking about a conversation that I may have had with the president. So there you have it, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Stimulus checks, pump ups to Social Security, child tax credits, and wiping out student loan debt. All of these provisions are currently on the table in consideration under negotiation.